Would you be mad if like she met somebody and that dude was like an amazing dude? Like
a better dude than you.
Way better dude than you.
No, Paul, you know what it is?
Like a way better stepdad.
Like way better.
Like if your son was like, yo, I don't want to chill with you this
Your
weekend.
son,
Hold on, wait. This is the wrong podcast for this.
yeah, it is.
Like that shit is
Let's
weird.
save that.
How
Let's save that.
demoralizing would that be?
The reason I asked
we'll save it for
We'll
your
save it.
podcast. We'll save it because that's toxic. We'll save it.
Cause I got some shit. I got some heat for that.
Because there's reasons I asked that shit.
Because I'm thinking about shit too. Like, nah.
Because you try to do your best in a relationship, right? So
course.
he's moving into something.
Paul,
We'll save it.
We'll save
bro.
it.
That's a good bag right there. By the way. Damn, nigga.
Our pod, you're entertainment.
we'll save that one.
You got
Yo.
paper towels? Let me get one of those. Jesus
Right?
Christ.
Like, woo, it's like
We back.
Could we
We
talk
bike.
about Loki?
Episode 69.
We bike episode 69. Welcome everybody.
By now, y'all know who we are.
Our
Yeah.
Pod Your Entertainment.
69.
It's Ralph, Ray, Vega.
If you want to
Wes,
catch up, tune into episode 68. You kind of just
or just listen to all our episodes. Could do that
start
too.
from episode 4. 1 and 2 and 3 are dicey.
Wait, no, but one is. Wait, I have to say this. 1 is a legendary episode.
That bonus
That is a
episode too.
bro. That
The
is
bonus
that is
episode?
that is the Source 5 mics. Like that is a 5-star classic. I don't give a fuck. It was one microphone, 6 motherfuckers on a glass table, but it's a classic episode. I listened to it the other day.
Did you?
Don't know why I was
You know,
bored.
because you know what it is? If you listen to the current episode and you just let it rock, it'll automatically starts from
If it's on
episode
Spotify,
1.
right? Or
Yeah, on
Really?
Spotify.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Apple
Oh, okay.
Podcast is the same shit.
So, like, I've caught myself listening to episode 1 a couple times, and I'd be like, this shit is...
That shit was trash.
And it's crazy. Like, motherfuckers just talking stupid. All right,
That-
but fuck
but
it,
it
yo.
was good.
Episode
I like it, fuck it.
69.
We out here. So what
Episode
we're gonna do
69.
right now
Before
is
Vega's battery pack dies.
Word.
we'll cover a few things.
Entertainment.
Yes. First up, J. Cole's album.
Fire.
Oh, I love
Oh
it.
my god.
I love it. It's probably my favorite album this year.
If Russ puts something out the way he's been putting
Who?
out singles, Russ,
Okay, yeah, Russ. is
with all
fire.
the singles he's been putting out, I would say it would compete in expectations. But J. Cole so far has the album 2021.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
J.
yeah,
Cole
yeah.
has album of the year
Without a doubt.
until Kendrick Lamar drops.
How he
We're
started?
already-
How you
we're
started
already
off?
in June, you know what I'm
How
saying?
you
So,
started off with
There's been
Cameron?
a lot of shit that's released. There's
And
a
we're
lot of
supposed to
people-
get
the
Drake.
Migos are supposed to coming out.
We're supposed to get Drake, Certified Lover Boy, and we're supposed to get Kendrick Lamar at the end of the year.
And Migos.
Don't forget
And
about John Mayer.
I love John Mayer.
John Mayer is.
He
I
just
fuck
threw out
with
a
John
single.
Mayer.
Did he
I fuck
really?
with John Mayer, but that's not hip hop.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're a hip hop podcast.
Now on the
Is this-
R&B
is this
side,
hip-hop?
I'm waiting on.
I just thought we was
Doja
talking about
Cat's album.
music.
fuck out of here.
That's what I'm
I
waiting
thought we
on.
was talking about
waiting on-
music.
I'm waiting on Snow Allegra.
I thought we
No,
was-
no, no,
why are we
no,
limiting
no,
ourselves?
Why we limiting? You know, why we limiting
that.
ourselves for that?
Entertainment.
You're right.
You know what I
But
mean?
no,
Shout
that,
out to John Mayer.
yeah, shout out to John. Shout out to John Mayer with his guitar, and
See what I did, John? I got you, bro.
there's always that one. There's always that one guy caping for the white guy.
Wow. John Mayer's fire.
Wow,
No,
yeah.
let's not
Yeah.
disrespect John
No,
Mayer.
Yo,
not
his
gonna
sneaker game
disrespect.
is fire too.
His kick game, his sneaker
see?
game. He got fire in his feet. Not gonna lie. I mean, I got fire in my feet today. Fuck that shit. I got Yeezys on. Let's go.
I paid $30 for these boots.
I know. So J. Cole, that shit is.
No, J.
That
Cole
shit
was
was
fire.
solid.
J. Cole's fire.
The
J.
intro
Cole's
alone
was
just
solid.
set the tone.
It's an album you can play and leave.
Yes.
Yo,
Yes.
that first track, 95 South with
Yeah.
Cameron, John,
They set
Lil
the
Jon.
tone. They set the tone. With
That set the
one.
tone. Because, you don't get that kind of music from J. Cole.
And it's a lot of music that, like, because I didn't go back to, like, KOD. Like, I heard it once and left it alone and shit like
Really?
that. Yeah.
KOD, I
Because
listened
it
to that
just
couple
wasn't
times.
really my vibe in that sense. Like, he switched it up for that specific reason.
He was
I felt
storytelling
like
a little
this
bit
is
now.
more J. Cole.
Yeah, this is definitely.
And
you could
this
tell.
is an album I can continuously every week just play and not have to worry about
I got
skipping.
a lot of mixtape vibes from him on this album.
Just a lot of quality
and I like,
music.
yeah,
man.
a lot of
Quality
and I
music
like
to me.
the samples that he used and a lot of like
And he produced a lot of his own shit.
he
Oh,
produces
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Yeah,
Which is
he's-
crazy.
Yeah,
But
he
this
really
was good
goes
because
in
this
with his
album
work.
he worked with different people as compared to
I didn't expect that.
Previous
Cameron
albums.
feature at all.
previous
What,
albums.
was it really a feature though?
No,
It was like more like an intro,
none of
right?
his
More like
al-
an ad-lib
wait, wait.
kinda?
None of his albums have features. Anybody who participates in his album they're all, I think they're like uncredited, like, vocals or whatever.
Yeah.
None of them are actually featured as cameos because he still perpetuates the narrative of going platinum with no features.
I didn't think of that. I didn't think of that.
I noticed that when I'm like reading the liner notes.
Because you're looking at these names and you want to hear whatever
that's
gets
right.
dropped.
Listen, he got Dame Lillard on his album.
Yeah, but he had to give Lil Baby credit though. You can't not.
No,
give Lil
none
Baby
of them.
credit.
They
No
all
one
appear.
dropped the actual verse.
None of them appear.
Lil Baby
as-
didn't drop a verse.
No, they're
Yo,
all
if you
snippets
look-
of them like talking and stuff. Like he uses their.
No. There's people that drop verses, but none of them are credited as features.
Even Lil Baby, because Lil Baby on
None.
tear right
Little
now.
Baby nice. Little Baby
None.
nice.
That Lil Baby and Dirk album, that shit
I didn't even
fire,
hear
too.
that
I
yet.
liked it.
That
That's
shit fire,
usually
bro.
not my vibe, but Lil Baby's on top of the world right now.
He's. Remember when Lil Wayne had that? And I'm
Had
not
that
saying
run. It's not the same.
Not
but
the same. But
He's having a
that-
run.
yeah,
He's
that
That's
having
why
a
was-
it's
moment.
not
that-
the same
that
because
Lil
there's
Wayne
no
one was
mixtape place that
crazy.
you can go in.
There's
and
no
get.
Exactly.
mixtape era anymore.
Yo, you remember
So-
when Lil Wayne
He's
after
on a
he
tear.
had that, he made that Millie record after?
Bro,
Millie,
Lil
a
Wayne,
Millie,
yo,
a Millie.
Lil Wayne in 1 year was on 77 songs.
Like he
in
was
1
on
year.
a tear,
Lil
bro.
Baby about to get there soon.
And that helped Drake too because Drake went right after that.
The thing that stops it, like, as far as like mass consumption, is when Lil Wayne went on his run. It was in the streets as far as like mixtapes. So you were hearing every mixtape that you bought
Back then, we would
had
listen to them. Yeah.
had Wayne on it, right? Every radio station had Wayne on it.
And you know what
So
else?
it was like almost unavoidable.
And you know what else is the difference?
Now with internet and streaming, you choose your music. So
and here,
like you
and-
can literally go
and-
without
and-
hearing
and
any
wait,
little bit.
so
Control,
here,
it's control.
here lies the other problem that when people start comparing the artists now to the artists back then, they're like, oh, they're having a similar run. No, they're not, because nowadays you release you release an album, and if every song from your album charts, that's because of the streaming consumption. But that doesn't mean the song is, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
with Lil Wayne, he was actively making unique music or jumping on verses of
He was
other
on like
people's
every
songs.
other song. It felt
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
Well, the
But
thing
now it's like they're counting people's hits as their whole album charting, and it's just like, no, that's not how it works. I'm sorry, I'm old school. Yes, I'm 35. I'm old. Whatever. Get off my fucking lawn. Get off my porch.
I just
But-
feel that it's easier for you to not consume music.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm
You
saying?
have more
Like,
of a choice
if
now.
you choose not to hear any Little Baby,
You won't.
that's completely your choice.
That's your prerogative.
You can literally
You have
turn
the
on any
option
app
to.
Back then
and
you
not
couldn't.
hear it. Back then you
Back
couldn't.
then it was unavoidable
Yeah.
because
Right
it was
in your
everywhere.
face, like right
Yeah.
there.
Because radio was a thing. Radio
And they
was
would-
a thing
and they
in
would
the
play-
Option
they would
was,
play
was
mixtapes,
either
too.
radio
or mixtapes.
CDs.
Yeah.
That's it.
Mixtapes.
Radio is less about music nowadays and more about talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more.
It's a podcast.
It's entered the podcast like space, even though it's not a podcast.
It's not. It's not.
Like for example, every episode, every day, every day, the Breakfast Club is on radio, right? Every day.
Yeah, that's morning show.
But you
talk,
know they
right?
grab those recordings and
Air them as
stream
podcasts.
them as like iHeartRadio streams them as podcast episodes. They're on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I'm just like, but they're not a podcast. They're a radio show.
They're just looking for the stream.
They're
at
just
this point.
there. That's
They
all
just
it
want
is.
that title,
And
being
I'm
the
just-
number
and
one
that gets-
Yeah,
podcast.
because if you're a fan of the radio
Yeah.
program, you can always go back and listen to
and
it.
re-listen.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they
But I
do
think,
it as
but for
podcast.
me, I feel like the Breakfast Club is definitely more of a visual thing. People go on YouTube and watch the interviews because you want to see. They're more in it for like
The
'cause
reactions
Look, for
and
example,
stuff.
look at the Birdman interview.
This is where
That was a visual moment.
my contradiction to this point would be, I don't think people go necessarily there for their interviews anymore
Not like it used to.
because it's a structured interview in the sense of
you get 5 questions.
you get
and that's
5
it.
questions, commercial break, you come back, you get this. Now, if you want to in depth, you go things like Drink Champs and shit like that, where they sit down and speak to a certain artist.
And they're
for, like,
drinking.
Yo,
and
can I-
KD's
can
new
I- can I keep
podcast.
it real?
KD's new
Can I keep it
podcast
real?
is
I can't-
crazy,
Is it?
Yo,
bro, because
So
he's
the-
got access to a lot of
people.
people.
Was it Cam
it's on
Newton
Tidal,
too has
right?
a podcast too. Cam Newton.
Newton.
Oh, I gotta listen
It's
to that.
like
Yo, can
Uh,
I be real? I have yet gotten through an entire episode of Drink Champs. I can't.
I Am Athlete. The one that they did with I Am Athlete was
the
fire.
way Nori goes about it.
Nori goes hard body on the liquor, my G.
Not only that, he cuts everybody off.
But it's entertaining as fuck.
I can listen to like the abbreviated clips. I can't sit there and listen to like their 3-hour episodes.
He'd be drunk. The only thing is
He'd be drunk.
He'd be drunk.
And he's high. He's high as soon as the shit
drunk
starts.
is high. But he doesn't let people like get their point across. But
not for nothing. It's a way that he comes across as like because a lot of people open up to him because they probably have a lot of relationships with him. So it works. It works.
That DMX one was good
because that podcast specifically is guest driven.
Yeah.
Super guest driven.
You know, there's a lot of podcasts that are not guest driven.
He can't sit there with DJ
FN and just chop the shit.
No,
it's not gonna work.
Driven.
It's guest driven because you tune in
to
hear these crazy stories and people like, and it's fun in that sense.
And honestly, that's a perfect segue to a conversation Ray and I had before we started recording earlier tonight. I can't listen to like the whole thing going on with the Joe Budden podcast.
Dude, it's
rough.
It's rough.
It's rough.
I have not yet finished one episode.
And I told you, what did I tell you earlier tonight? I was like, dude, it's embarrassing now because now he's turning it into everything he said he was never going to be. We're not a guest-driven podcast.
He's had one every week.
We'll have people here who come and kick it with us, but this is not an interview thing. But now you got fucking Cat. Now, don't get me wrong. The segment they had with Cat Williams was actually dope because Cat Williams spit fire.
I didn't like him at all.
But
the Cat Williams one, his energy was fucking off-putting.
Because like Chris
came into it
thinking he was gonna get attacked. So his guard was up.
His guard was up, but then Joe kind of broke the ice, and his guard came down.
This is where I'm gonna tell you the difference, right? As far as like natural chemistry is hard
to come by.
Without a doubt. We know that.
We know that. We know this. We've been doing this for 2 years. We know this.
Rory and Mal, for as much as like people be like, oh, Rory's a cornball, that chemistry was very different. Ice and Ish, they haven't done it long enough. Everything that, like, Joe is trying to throw Ish under the bus. I mean,
in the fire all the time.
Yeah,
you feel like he's forcing it?
Yeah, he's forcing it.
He's trying to bring out the past.
But you know what it also comes across as?
Snitch on himself.
Yes.
Wait. You know what it also comes across as?
You can't do that.
It also comes across, especially with Ice.
I have a current right now.
And you're looking at Ice to be the current voice. But he just comes off as
a hater.
He comes off as a hater.
He comes off as the biggest troll in the world, too.
Yeah, that's the thing. So now it comes off as this. Like, it's like they're being edgy for the sake of being edgy, not because they actually believe what they're saying.
Yeah.
But if you notice...
They don't buy their own bullshit.
But if you notice, Joe Budden is pulling from Ice and mostly Ish.
Yeah.
And he wants him to, like, incriminate themselves.
And he's not doing it.
And he's not doing it to himself.
Yeah. And then he'd be like, all right, we're going to leave it. We're going to leave it.
And they move on.
So it's a whole podcast of, all right, we're going to leave it. Because he wants them to talk about shit that happened
30 years ago.
Exactly.
Wow.
And you're sitting down like, I can't listen to a lot of this
Joe
shit.
Budden right now is
well, but not to say that I would listen to the guys come back because that
dynamic is
over.
It's done.
That dynamic is
You can't come back from that.
You can't come back from that.
As much as I'm eager to hear what Rory and Mal got to do with their
But how long is it going to last?
Yo, not for nothing, though.
But I think their bag is going to be totally different.
Their bag is going to be crazy.
You know why? I'm going to tell you why.
Because they signed with KD, son.
They signed with,
Oh, I didn't know that.
They signed with KD's
production company. So they're going to be able to do a lot of shit that they couldn't do with Joe. Because if you notice,
give him a lot more freedom.
Every interview before all this shit happened was all Rory and Mal's
own doing.
Okay. You know, like the hottest shit that happened was, you know, when Mal would bring St. John in, when Rory had
Jim Jones. Rory brought Jim Jones,
you know what I'm saying? Or Justice, you know. If you have Joe
Mal
JBP
brought
fans.
the Griselda guys.
Yeah. Because Benny and all that.
Because why? Because Joe would say, "Oh, this is not a guest-driven podcast. This is us, But now he sees that they're gone, so now he's he's focusing on, let me get all these different people to tell, because he's struggling right now.
Yo,
he's reaching.
So now you have their contacts plus KD's contacts plus KD's company and titles contacts.
The connections.
These shits are gonna be.
Because not for nothing, Joe Budden's cut so many bridges.
Yeah.
A lot of bridges.
He burned those bridges. That's one thing you should never do, burn bridges.
When's the last time he called somebody?
Unless it was a sucia that he's fucking.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these dudes ain't gonna pick up the phone with him no more.
Because they know it's all about.
Because if you do your man dirty live
on air,
how are you gonna do me?
I lost
on
a lot of respect for Joe.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I'm not gonna lie to you. I listened to the podcast the other day and it seemed forced. Like I'm like,
yo, check this out.
It's forced.
They've released one video, almost 6-minute video, right? That video alone has almost 700,000 views, and they've
that little sketch.
Yes,
that sketch was
fire. Sketch was funny,
and they already have 131,000 subscribers.
That's good though.
People trying to support, yo.
And then they dropped that episode that they did on Vimeo where they put it out.
I paid the fucking money that shit is.
I paid the $2
just to
watch it.
I pirated. I'm sorry, guys.
I paid the $2 and I heard everything that I already speculated.
It's true. But it was obvious though.
Yeah.
When you sit down and listen to him, when Joe Budden, when he's angry,
and Joe is in denial.
He speaks in anger.
Joe is in denial because, like Rory said, that meeting he had with Tidal, it wasn't a meeting. He was just having dinner with Elliot.
But he took it as, what are you doing?
And to this day, Joe takes it as, no, you had a meeting without my permission. No, he's telling you it wasn't a meeting. It was
came
just
up.
Dinner.
It wasn't.
So he's still in the he like literally you're blatantly calling your friends out as liars.
And honestly, I want the podcast to do good.
Yeah.
Cause we grew up.
Of course.
Not for nothing. That's why we do it.
And not just that, it got me through a lot of my work day.
Yeah.
And shit like that. Like I would know, like my Sundays are gonna go smooth because I got the podcast in my ear. My Wednesdays are gonna go good because I got the podcast in my ear.
You pause it when you need to.
Pause it when I need to do whatever, and then I got my other podcasts that fill the gaps. But now, like, you pour some shit on, and I'm like, if I can't get through 30 minutes of a 3-hour podcast, it's rough.
It's a problem.
It's a problem.
Now I gotta sit and listen to ours.
Which you can see on all streaming platforms.
Which you can find on all streaming platforms.
Because
and then we'll move right along.
Yo, but before we go on different podcasts, Talib Kweli, Dave Chappelle.
Yo, that is a fire podcast.
You have a podcast?
That's the next greatest podcast. Talib Kweli, Dave Chappelle, and Mos Def.
Yasin Bey.
Where is it at? Streamed everywhere?
I'm going to say Yasin Bey because that's his new name.
Yes, Yasin Bey.
Mos Def.
Wow. I got to get on
Yo,
I did not know. Thank you for putting me on.
Come on, man.
Fire, bro.
It's not preachy, though, right?
No.
Come on, man.
Because Dave Chappelle sometimes comes off a little preachy.
No, it's literally them just talking, like...
Shit.
And they have guests and stuff, too.
Giving stories, like... Bringing,
that's got to be fire.
I got to listen to it.
Dude, it's called The Midnight Miracle.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just stories like Dave Chappelle. Come on.
I did see a clip on YouTube, and he had an audience for a recording podcast. I'm like, Dave Chappelle is crazy.
Yeah, but it's Dave Chappelle.
Yo, he's on another level, bro.
I gotta listen to it.
He's on another level.
But real quick, just getting back to music. Did you guys listen to the DMX album?
No.
I couldn't get through it.
I couldn't get through it either.
I forgot that it came out. I haven't had a chance.
I feel like Swiss,
Exodus, right? It's cool.
Swiss did, Exodus.
Swiss had good intentions.
Swiss had a lot of good
But
intentions.
from what I know, the album was completed before DMX died.
This is the problem. X was still in his...
Shadow?
No, just kind of like ran out of lyrics back, yo.
Oh, shit. Explain.
Some of the songs felt forced.
Some of the songs felt forced.
How many songs on the album?
I don't know how many songs he actually recorded with that beat, like in front of Swiss and stuff like that. He wasn't chasing the sound because he still sounded like
13,
DMX.
including the skits. Like there's 13 tracks.
But there was a lot of things that you would hear and you would say, this is not a DMX song. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it has to do... And in reality, like if you think about it, what are DMX's greatest albums? Maybe his first 3 projects?
His first three are classics.
Right?
They're undeniable
classics.
classics.
Swiss was involved in those?
Swiss was the executive producer on all 3.
But he wasn't making those beats.
Yeah,
Who was making those beats?
Swiss was making
These
those
two
beats.
dudes. Like if you listen to the documentary, like it wasn't Swiss making
What
those
documentary?
beats. I forgot which one it was. It was what
Now, did Rough Riders have a camp of producers? Absolutely.
possibly, right?
But Swiss was if you look at the liner notes and you look at everything, Swiss had a hand in
Well,
those three
do
albums.
you have Tidal? Because you can see credits on.
Yeah, I do
Do you
have
see
Tidal.
credits on Apple?
I don't.
Yes.
Just look at some of the credits of as producers on just his first album.
Wes, did you listen to it or no?
I didn't listen to the whole thing. I listened to
haven't.
some.
I didn't get a
I
chance.
couldn't get.
I
I
The
I could have
features
listened.
were all good. The beats were all good. Like production was all good. But when every time you got to DMX, it almost felt like
It just didn't fit.
it didn't fit.
It didn't fit.
It felt
no.
like it didn't. It felt like like when Tupac passed away and they were just putting a bunch of Tupac verses on random beats. Kind of felt that way. But to Swiss's credit, he tried. And I listened to it like 4 times just to give it that chance.
I don't know. To me personally, I gotta listen to it to for it to make sense. But I didn't have a chance to listen to it. Like me personally, I'm like, did I want to listen to a DMX album? I feel like the older artists, it doesn't intrigue me as much as they did before. If that makes any sense.
I think it's how you come across. Like I could listen to a Jim Jones album because his last project was
but he
so
stays-
Sicario was
but he-
amazing.
But he stays in tune.
Were you able to get anything on that?
He stays in tune
How-
with the
All right,
times,
so
though.
for DMX's first album, for his Dark and Hell is Hot, Swizz Beatz is credited on one song. You got Irv Gotti on a few, but then you have Dame Grease, who was a producer under the Rough Riders camp, who did a lot of work with their albums. On the second album, which is Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, you got Swizz Beatz, Irv Gotti, Swizz Beatz. Swizz Beatz had more of an influence on the second album than the first album.
Yeah.
Third album.
I think it was that BET documentary that they did, where they kind of showed like there was like these 2 producers that were like Rough Rider producers that kind of made
Swizz Beatz.
the DMX kind of like sound.
Yeah.
And
So
once
those
you
would
got
probably
away
be
from
like,
that,
yeah, it would so the 2 names I see coming up a lot is like Dame Grease and PK.
yeah.
PK the Tracks. Those are the 2 guys that you see coming up a lot on DMX's albums. But yeah, I think Swizz definitely had more of a hand on the second and third album. First album, not too much. But remember, DMX's first album, like Swizz was a teenager.
Yeah.
Swizz was a kid.
Yeah, I'm not like.
Yeah.
And Swiss probably feels responsible for the career in the sense of Rough Riders
As a whole, yeah.
As a whole,
The brand in general.
And always being like DMX, like a big DMX supporter.
yeah.
Like no matter what, no
Yeah.
matter what public perception was of DMX, whether people were loving DMX or people were clowning DMX, because there was a time where people clowned DMX.
Yeah, when DMX was down, Swiss was
like
the one that was
like
really
Swiss was
by
still,
his
he
side.
was
So
like,
I
I'm
can see
always
why
going to support
he's
my
like-
brother.
Why he's like battling
Yeah,
back,
yeah.
I'm gonna put this out. But a lot of those songs on this new album felt like Swiss songs and not a DMX song.
Okay, yeah, I see where you're coming
So
from.
what
on
did you
that.
think about the track with
Jay-Z
Jay-Z,
and
Nas? Yeah.
I'd have to
Assault?
hear it again. Because it didn't even stand out.
Yeah, it didn't stand out too much for me. I didn't like the beat. I'll tell you that. I know that for a fact.
And
I
they
didn't
said
like
those
the beat.
songs-
Now, I
those-
like their bars.
They said those
but I
verses
didn't like the
were old ass verses too.
for
That's what I heard. I heard that particular Jay-Z verse has been out for like 3 years.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Yeah, but when I heard DMX
it
bars
might
on
be
that
so.
one, it just
I don't know
didn't,
if you
it didn't fit right.
You remember this? Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. A few years ago on like IG Live, you had, I think, what was it? It was Swiss and I think maybe it was Just Blaze. They had kind of like this DJ battle. It was like they were in the same
Four
room.
verses
Busta
and all
was
that
there.
shit, yeah.
Ebro was there. Like it was like through Hot 97, like a whole bunch of shit. If I'm not mistaken, those 2
Played one of those verses.
both of those verses.
Yeah.
Because I remember Swiss saying, yeah, like this is a DMX, Nas, and Jay-Z track. Like this is a lost track. And I'm just like, what? I got to go back to that video to hear that. But if it's the same fucking verse, then yeah, them shits are old as dirt.
Yeah. Well, not it is what it is on that.
You know what?
Hopefully, whatever production, streaming way if X's family can benefit from that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
well,
no, of
Word,
course.
yeah,
They
definitely.
definitely,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
My one wish is that, okay, I'm glad I got to hear a DMX album one last time. Like, I'll take what I can get. Because
Well, that's the beauty
he's
of
not
music too,
here
though,
anymore,
right?
yeah.
Because we can always, like, if you want the best of
I
him,
go back to
I
his
can
old
go back
stuff.
to his old
Yeah.
stuff.
his music is timeless.
His music is super
And
yeah,
all
timeless.
music is time.
DMX will live
That's
on
the
like
beauty of it,
forever.
right?
It's good
Rest
music.
in peace, DMX.
For real.
Should I segue into the Loki?
Yeah.
Did
Oh
you
no,
watch
real
Loki?
quick. So I went to the movies for the first time. I
Holy
went,
shit.
What'd you watch?
You risk taker, you.
He's vaccinated.
I'm double vaxxed up, brother.
Get him.
I went to the Sunday Memorial Day weekend on Sunday.
You went to AMC?
Yeah.
To the moon,
To
baby.
the moon, baby. I went to see A Quiet Place 2.
How
How
was it?
that?
So I enjoyed it.
Because I liked the first one.
I love the first one.
First one
I
was
still
good.
think the first one's better.
Okay.
But this, not to say this is a bad movie, but me personally, my personal taste, I think the first one's better. The first one tells a better story. It sets up more of. This one is a prequel and a sequel because it takes place before the first one and
Right after the first
So
one.
dad is back? Is the dad in the
The first few minutes. Yeah, he's definitely in it.
Let me ask you: was this one of those few movies that are not going to be on those HBO Max or anything like that? Like,
So
you have to go watch it in theaters right now.
right now, but it has a 45 or 60-day theatrical window. After that, it's going on Paramount Plus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because
Which, by the way, guys,
I heard,
I know not a lot of people know about Paramount Plus, but if you want like great nostalgia, it has everything. Like we're the MTV generation, so yeah, Viacom they own all that shit, but they have Nickelodeon, so they got all the old shit, Rugrats, Doug.
I've always attributed Paramount to like
Rocket Power.
I didn't have Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
I
Well,
live in the
because
hood.
Spike TV became the Paramount Network,
Oh.
but it's a good app. It's a good streaming service.
So they're strictly in theaters then.
For now,
For now.
yes.
Same thing's gonna be with Fast and Furious.
Absolutely. Yeah, Fast and Furious. So
Because I know
it doesn't
I
seem
know inside
so
from
Fast
my
and
job
Fast and
on
Furious
what
is
happened
universal.
with
Yeah, Fast and
So,
Furious is universal.
We were, and just like fucking Comcast, late on everything.
Yeah.
Late on everything. This all shit hit the fan in 2020. The plans, because NBC has an app, it's called
Peacock.
Mm-hmm.
It's free.
I get it for free.
Yeah. The plan was to make a $4.99 version of our Peacock app,
There is.
right? But that was going to include all Universal movies that go to theater,
Yeah.
right? The shit died? Fuck. So, I'll talk a little louder.
No, you're right there.
So, the plan was for it to go to this all apps, right? And all Universal movies were gonna fucking be on this. But guess what happened? Fucking 2021 comes along, and they're not ready. And Fast and Furious is the biggest moneymaker that they have.
Yeah.
And now I guess that shit's just gonna be in theaters only.
Yeah, it's only gonna be in theaters. So I have because I have Xfinity like internet. I got that little the streaming box because
the
I don't
Flex.
have cable. I got the
yeah.
Flex,
Yeah.
so they gave me Peacock for free.
Yeah.
But for people obviously who don't have like if you have another service provider, so yeah, Peacock they have is a $4.99 version, and then they have the $9.99 which is no commercials, commercial free. So I have I get it free. It's in my bill. Well, not in my bill, but it's free. I don't have to pay for it.
Yeah.
So I like Peacock. Peacock ain't that bad. I still gotta search through it, but for me, honestly, still content wise, I still think HBO Max is
That's
like
where it's
what
at.
they're trying to do is like give you all this constant content is good. They don't have the greatest back catalog, but
and now so HBO, well Warner Media is AT&T is selling it. They sold it to Discovery.
so Discovery Plus is gonna get crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the reason why they sold is because they lost a lot of AT&T lost a lot of money on this whole where all our theatrical releases are going to be on HBO Max for 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So they're on the in theater and in it. So I don't think they were the right company to purchase them in the first place. They just bought them less than 3 years ago.
Well, acquisitions, so that's how that shit works.
Like, you're a telecommunications company, and now you're trying to get. I understand what you were trying to do, but another company, someone else should have bought Warner Media. But I think that's. You got. It's a lot of stuff coming up.
I saw The Conjuring.
How was that? I'm not big on scary movies.
Disappointed.
It was disappointing.
You saw
Like,
it too.
not scary, or just the story didn't make
I don't
sense.
know.
No, the story was disappointing.
Yeah, the story was disappointing, right? Compared to what they normally do.
The
It's
trailers looked crazy.
Yeah, but
I stay away from scary movies, and like as soon as the
Why, you
trailer was
scared?
like, yeah, I'm scared as fuck. I still can't watch Freddy Krueger. There's only one scary movie that I could like watch, and that was like Chucky, because I was like, I fuck Chucky up. Even as a kid, I was like, I'd fuck Chucky up. But any other scary movie, I was like, nah, brother.
You don't think you can fuck Leatherface up?
Hell no.
Hells no.
He's slow.
Doesn't matter.
You know what really
So
fucked with
serial
me?
killer.
So back to the Conjuring. In the trailer, the dude was like, "We acknowledge God every day in the Bible. You just take an oath. How come we don't acknowledge the devil?" I was like, "Not for me, buddy.
He said,
Not for me. The Jesus is gonna strike you down."
But no, so like, yeah, going back to, it was different. The movies was definitely. So I went to the dine-in. I went to Menlo. So have you guys been to the dine-in before?
Of course.
I used to go to iPix for dining.
Okay. So you know at the dine-in they take your order at your chair, right?
Mhm.
No, not
They don't do it no
not
more?
right now. You have to go to the register first before you go into theater.
That.
And then if I wanted to go and order something else, I had to go out.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. So you're better
But
off
I
just
think-
going to a regular theater.
Yeah.
Because
you're better off.
it defeats the purpose.
It
of
does
dining.
defeat the purpose. But I think they were doing that right now because everything had a
Of
fully,
course. But
Once everything fully opens up again, it's over. Everything goes back to normal.
I want to be a
But I
lazy
think also
slob and just
I
be
used to
able-
they're-
love the movies.
They're
yeah.
also supremely understaffed.
I was a big
Oh,
movie
yeah.
head too.
Think about it.
Going
They
to the theaters. Was
They
like,
laid off 30,000 employees.
Jesus.
and the AMC still to the moon.
Shout out if you bought some AMC stock. But
Keeping them alive.
so I'm excited to continue going to the movies. I restarted my AMC A-List subscription. So AMC A-List, what it is for $23 a month, you can go see up to 3 movies a week.
Huh?
So
that was that Stubbs Rewards and all that.
yeah,
stuff.
after 2 visits, it pays itself. It pays for itself. Fuck it, even after 1.
But you had to follow those like days, right? Like only on
No,
days, no?
no.
Anytime.
Any day. So the movie theater week starts Friday until Thursday night.
Yeah.
So every Friday you would get replenished with 3 new trips to the movies. So if you wanted to go, like, let's say on a Saturday and watch 3 movies, I don't go out like that, like drinking or whatever. Like, my thing was always a movie. So for someone who suffered, like, I suffered during COVID because going to the movie theaters was my thing. Like, I would always hit people up, yo, you want to go to movies? Fuck it, let's go. You know, like, whenever the Marvel movies came out, yo, we in there opening night?
You had connections in the movie
Marvel
theater
is
too, right?
smart though.
I used to work at the movie theater.
Marvel
Yeah.
is smart to not like put anything out.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
So-
they
they're
held
like,
it
we
all
gonna
back,
wait
bro.
all this shit out.
So I'm excited to, like, I'm going to go see Fast 9 in theaters. I'm going to go see,
Well, like I'm saying now, people have to go
Yeah.
to theaters to see Fast.
to go see Fast 9, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go see Black Widow in theaters.
When's that come out?
You don't
July
have to
9th.
see that in theaters, right? But you have to do the premiere.
I'm not paying
plus.
$30.
I know.
I'm not paying an extra $30. I'm sorry, Disney.
I
to see it on
waited.
the
So
app?
Disney,
I waited for
Disney
it Raya?
hasn't-
I waited for that.
Oh yeah, Raya.
the
Raya-
Dragon-
I waited.
It was a good movie too.
I didn't finish watching it, but
It
I
was
waited
good.
for it.
I watched it. It was good.
I waited. I'm not paying like you said the $30. I
No,
wasn't
no,
paying for
it's
it.
already.
I know.
Yeah,
I waited.
but for example, like that Mulan, when Mulan came out last year, Cruella, all these movies that come out on Premiere Access, you can either go see it in theaters, or if you want to stay home and watch it on Disney Plus, you got to pay an additional $30. I'm not doing
Do you
that.
get to keep the movie?
No.
Watch
I
it
don't
once
know.
and it's gone?
I don't know.
That's crazy.
That I don't know.
$30 is
Now
steep,
here's
yeah.
the thing: if they were to provide me with a
go to the movie.
Let me
digital,
hold it for a month.
like no, but not even that.
24 hours at least.
If they would if they would say, yo, if you pay these $30, we'll give you a digital copy of the movie, then I would consider it. But if I'm just paying $30 to see it at home, I'm going to the movie theater. Fuck this.
Or do
Like we already
like,
talked about going to go see Black Widow. Like we're gonna go see this, but
or
fuck
do
it.
the premiere access. Like, all right, you get like for $30, you get like 3 movies
Yeah.
that's on Premiere Access.
Yeah, but for one movie, it's not worth it. It's not
You know
worth
what I
it.
mean?
I don't pay I don't pay $30 to go watch a movie. Like, it's not worth it. So I'd rather go to the movie theater. But speaking of Marvel, let's talk about Loki.
There we go.
We gotta stop.
No. We got a few more minutes. You can hold it. You're a grown man.
Did you watch it?
I caught the
It was
The
alright.
trailer?
breakdowns and all that stuff. Because I don't have Disney Plus.
What? You need my password?
I'll give you a password.
Oh,
Come on, man. You got 3 people with passwords here. They're gonna give you. I'm not gonna give
Yeah,
you.
I'll give you a password.
It was good. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
I gotta
I
watch
enjoyed it as well too.
I gotta watch it one more time.
As far as like explaining that he's not the Loki we thought.
No,
He's the Loki that.
from
He's the
2012.
Loki from 2012.
Yeah,
2012.
I like that.
I like the fact
because
that
the Loki that we know, he's gone.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's
dead.
he's dead.
And
And the clip of them showing when he sees himself.
Ooh, that was
Yeah.
tough.
Acting at fucking.
acting.
That scene right
Wow,
there
Tom
when he
Hiddleston.
went back and he saw his mom and then he
His
saw
future.
everything.
He saw his future.
And then he saw his past and he saw his future and, then he was just
and
like,
then he
then
realized. He realizes that his mother's death is his fault.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
he sent that guy. He sent those
he said to
the
the
dark
left, go
elves.
to the left or something like that.
Yeah, he's like, you might as well go to that room on the right or the left or whatever it is. He thought he was sending him after Thor, but he didn't know his mother was there. And when he sees that, because remember, for as much as he was like the black sheep or whatever and all this stuff, he's still like his mother. He did not play about his mom. Like, that was the one person he really cared
But
about.
he even cried when his father died too.
Of course.
But I like the fact that they took the villain out of it, and he realized, yo, nigga, I ain't shit.
Yeah.
And he just sat in the corner like, that nigga, I ain't shit. Like, I'm legit ain't shit. This cube ain't working.
Yeah.
bro,
But that's how
the
it is.
Infinity Stones, paperweight, bro.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Okay,
Damn.
but that's because magic doesn't work in the TVA.
Exactly.
Magic
So it's
doesn't work in the TVA,
paperweight.
so it's a fucking.
And he's like, you
paperweight.
have all these? And, like, when you really sit down and think about it, like, well, people die
Yeah.
for these Infinity Stones.
Yep.
And they
And,
have-
he's looking at it like,
And
yo,
that guy doesn't know what it is. He's like,
He's like, what, you want one
what's
of these?
a tesseract?
Here,
He's
take
like,
this.
sounds boring.
He said, oh, you're the guy that came in with that blue cube, right?
The tesseract is the space stone. Like, it allows you to travel within space.
They have literally all the powers.
Yeah.
Of this building.
But they have no idea how to. They don't know what
bro,
it is for. They don't know how to
when
use
the
it. Like,
even when the judge was like, yo, your life is not your choice.
Yeah.
Like,
But
really, like,
if y'all see at the end, it says.
Yo, but the way they
like,
erase people, that shit fuck
Oh, the
me
pruning.
up.
The pruning.
With
The
no
pruning.
remorse.
The pruning.
Nigga, you're done. That's it. You're over. It's over. You're done.
The pruning.
That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Bruh.
So,
You're irrelevant.
my theory, my hot take is that the TVA are actually the villains.
Of course they are, because they make you
TVA are
feel
the villains.
irrelevant.
Remember,
Irrelevant.
they said at the end of the episode, you see there, it says, "Oh, we're chasing after you." It's another Loki.
It's
We're
a-
getting Kid
the,
Loki.
the multiverse, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause
the
it's
lady-
a-
oh,
it's
lady
a different
Loki.
version.
100 versions.
There's gonna be so much different
So,
versions.
Lady Loki, all that shit.
Okay, so that's where the next kind of topic comes
And they
in.
mentioned
When you
Nexus
see
also.
the
They did
do-
the Nexus,
When you
yeah.
see the dossier of Loki, first of all, this motherfucker weighs 525 pounds. How?
Who?
Loki, did you not see the dossier? It
Nah,
shows his
I didn't
file.
see it. That nigga mad solid. He did look ripped though. I ain't gonna lie to you. When they destroyed his, I'm like, oh damn, he been working out his chest.
Look at his weight. 525 pounds.
All muscle.
So now, if y'all see, so it says under his sex, it says fluid. So people were mistaking that like, oh, Loki, because Loki in the comic books is gender fluid. But gender does not equal sex.
Sexuality.
Exactly. So what they mean by this is because he's a shapeshifter, he can turn into a man, into a woman. So of course his sex is fluid. But they haven't acknowledged, obviously, that his gender is fluid. But that sparked the whole conversation. It's like, yeah, finally they're making the TV show canon like the comic books. Because my brother, he came up to me, he's like, yo, Loki, he's gender fluid? And I was like, yeah, bro, it's in the comics. He's like, what? He's like, but what does that even mean?
Well,
and I had to explain it to my
he
brother.
is what you want. What he wants you to believe.
Yeah, well, because he's the god of mischief.
Exactly.
So if he can shapeshift into a man, a woman, whoever it is.
And then Loki, the character itself,
Yeah, his character himself, like his gender, doesn't, and think about it, he's a frost giant. He's not an actual human.
No.
He's a frost giant. So that would explain why he weighs 525 fucking pounds.
That's crazy.
Like, I don't. That shit is so wild. But I'm
For episode 1,
It was a solid episode. Solid episode. I can't wait till
liked
episode 2.
It was good. I can't wait.
Alleged from what I read. Spoiler alert, not spoiler alert, but there's, because he began to question. It's like, wait, so why what I did is an offense, but what the Avengers did wasn't an offense? And then the girl tells him, no, they were meant to do that.
That was supposed to happen.
That was supposed to happen. They were supposed to go back in time.
You
He's like,
escaping
you
was not supposed to happen.
You grabbed the Tesseract.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that because they're going to actually explain some things.
Well,
I heard they're explaining.
How did he know?
He didn't know. It was just the opportunity that presented himself.
No. He knew that the Avengers came back in time. He knew that because he saw the
He saw
suitcase
Stark.
move. He saw He saw Ant-Man. He had an idea. Remember, he can also read minds.
I didn't know he could read minds. I thought that was like a hole, like a plot hole.
No.
Because he brought that up, and then
he knew that they came back. He saw Ant-Man kick the suitcase.
But he didn't know who Ant-Man was.
He had no idea, but then he put 2 and 2 together.
The Avengers. He knew. He
knew they were up to something.
Yeah.
He mentioned the smell of Tony Stark's.
Yeah.
Cologne.
He's
Yeah.
He's like, I can smell his.
Those are little tidbits that you ain't catch.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that.
You gotta.
Because to me, because I was like, wait a minute, they fucked up here because he had no idea if this is that Loki. He had no idea that they went back in time.
I'll give you my login info so you can watch it again.
Yeah, I gotta watch.
It's good.
He saw Tony Stark in the suit, in that military suit.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that he
He
did
did
that.
that.
I didn't know he peeped that. Yeah.
He's like, wait a minute, what's going on?
Yeah, that's why he was just like.
There's 2 Tony Starks here.
And then when the cube came to him,
That's why he
like,
said I smelled it twice.
Exactly.
He's
Ah,
like, you
okay.
smell 2 different body sprays.
Yeah,
Axe body spray. But no, I honestly, if we're scoring it out of 5, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5.
Let me ask you this, because I didn't watch none of the Again, I don't have the fucking Disney. I didn't watch none of the Captain America Winter Soldier stuff, but I did see
good.
episode 1 of it.
You
I
gotta
thought
watch it.
episode 1 laid out a really good.
Wait till you watch the
But
rest.
then after that, nobody talked about it. I felt like WandaVision started slow,
Got more chatter.
and got a lot more steam.
Yeah.
We didn't know what we were getting.
But I felt like it started super slow because I felt like nobody liked how WandaVision came across in the beginning, but loved how it ended and tied all this shit in.
Yeah.
Vice versa, Captain America, people loved how it started because it was so Marvel-ish, bang, bang, flying around. And then after that, it kind of like nobody talked about it.
The last episode
Yes
was pretty
and no, but I think for like the hardcores,
And then
definitely talked about
how many
it.
episodes were
6.
in that?
But the
So
episodes are like an
shorter.
hour.
good. Yeah, they're long episodes.
It's basically a 6-hour movie.
Okay.
Yeah. And now, obviously, and you've probably
very
seen this
political,
on the internet.
Really?
He's.
Very political.
I'm pretty sure you. I don't know if you saw it spoiled on the internet.
No, I literally stayed away from
It's
it.
very
Okay,
political,
so I'm not gonna
bro.
spoil it for you. You watch it, and then we'll talk.
The
we'll
only
go
thing
back
I
and we'll
saw
talk about
because it was so like readily available was episode 1. It was
Okay.
the only thing that was actually.
yeah.
Everything else was just like clips and talks
No,
about it,
watch
and
it.
points and
Watch it.
theories.
I will give you the info so you can watch it.
With that being said, I think that's right. We're good.
Yeah, fuck it, we're good.
Episode 69.
Episode 69, baby.
69.
I got the levels right there. I don't have to watch it as much.
The most complicated part of sex. Most uncomfortable part.
Or the
69.
most fun.
Well, hey, there we go. Now we're talking.
We out. Peace.
I can't.